Hello there, Shadow Penguin. I'm here today to review Titan Brawl, the new mode just for Titans that dropped in Titanfall 2 last week. Now I've played a couple of hours of this mode. I haven't had time to play any more due to, college and all sorts of exams coming up within the next month. But I've had a good amount of time to play this, and I just wanted to give my opinions on, what I thought of it, how it compares to other modes like LTS, and whether this mode has any long-term future within the game. So Titan Brawl, of course, the biggest comparison that comes to mind is the fact that it's like Pilots v Pilots, except for Titans. Now this brings a lot of really good stuff as well as some limitations. So it's very good because it's just an all-in scrap. That's the best way I can describe it. You have sort of more Titans sort of charging at each other, engaging in really cool, just all-out battles, because of course you get your Titan back immediately, and that's really cool because you feel like you can sort of put yourself into the fray completely. You don't need to sort of hold back so much because you know that you'll just get straight back into your Titan. So then you have, instead of having these sort of head glitch battles where you have irons and North Stars and what have you, you just have these all-out brawls where you have 6v6 sort of punch-ups and that sort of thing, and that's very, very fun. I have to say, it sort of combines the sort of fast-paced element of just having the Pilots versus Pilots mode with the fact that you're in a massive Titan, and you just feel really badass, really. So that's a very good benefit. However, with that benefit comes an associated downside, and that downside is that a lot of the things that are good about LTS are gone. For example, I like the fact that LTS is very, very tactical. So in LTS, you've got to really pay attention to the metagame, and you've got to sort of really work as a team. For example, you can have an Iron or a North Star staying sort of on the back line as a sniper, and then you have the Ronin going for the flank route, or that sort of thing. But with this, the sort of team tactics don't really matter, because in LTS, let's just say, even if you don't have a mic, you look at your teammates' team comp, and you go, okay, so if they have, say, a Ronin and a Scorch, say if they had two Ronins, you go for an Iron or a Tone or a North Star or something. But with this, team composition and team tactics and communicating with your team to get sort of the best result doesn't really matter, because of course it's not like you only have one life, so you need to best sort of mete out the damage to the enemy team and try and sort of make sure your heavy hitters aren't damaged so much. It's more just an all-out brawl where tactics go out the window, and I think this is both a very, very, very good thing, because it's very, very sort of fun. You can just throw yourself in there with abandon, and it's like the ultimate plastic figurine hitting them against each other to see who wins thing that you do as a child, except in a video game with a massive Titan with a huge machine gun and lasers and tracking rockets and all that. So that's really cool. However, I think a rather important aspect of the Titan, sort of how you play with Titans in the game, is lost, because it's far less tactical. You don't sort of look for special reach. You don't sort of have to think, oh, where's the enemy team formation? There isn't a formation. You don't have sort of two people flanking, two people attacking from the back line with laser shot, that sort of thing. You just have an all-out brawl, and that's fun. However, it doesn't have as much replayability as LTS, Last Titan Standing, in my personal opinion. But yeah, I played a couple of games of this. I played this one, which I played with Iron and Tone. I think Iron, after the nerf, it doesn't really affect her on this mode, which was very good. So I was very happy to play Iron, and also Tone, Tone is just completely overpowered. However, you're not quite as manoeuvrable. The one thing I did find is it is a lot easier to, as you saw there, sort of box people into a hole, because they sort of, once you put down your shield, and the benefit is you can shoot while you're using your shield, but on the other hand, you sort of gotta stay there, and it's very easy for people to outflank you, and with your sort of quite bad sort of close range capabilities, that sort of messes you up slightly. But overall, tone is just so overpowered. Just that, if you keep them at even a slight arm's length, there's nothing they can do. It's just it's amazing. So overall, just to sum up, I think that Titan Brawl is a very, very fun mode, and which just encourages players to go all out and just try and sort of going for the punch and just see what they can do, which is very, very fun, and it will be very, very fun for the next 10 games, I think. However, I don't think Titan Brawl has the same replayability that LTS has, due to the fact that there aren't any tactics. You can't improve your team tactics over time and your team composition. It's just an all-out Titan fight, which is fun. However, it won't be as fun in time as Last Titan Standing is, I personally think. Although time will tell. I don't know how long this game mode was going to be up for. So anyway, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you next time with some more Titanfall 2 or other content. Goodbye.